Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Wilhelm Startin. Apologies for my Sonic Frontiers stream this past Friday. I hate that island. But anyway, we're back with some more Dark Cloud 2, so here we go. Good evening, Builder. How were your holidays, and did you have a Happy New Year? Let's see here. Where was I supposed to head next? I believe we've already completed Sindane, and I believe Balance Valley, and we completed Venicchio, which just leaves Heinrad, I believe. You've been well? Good. Good to hear. Let's see here. Yep, just need one more. Okay. So, Jeez, it's been so long I forgot what I was last trying to do. I think it was something regarding making new gear. Let's see here. Oh, right. I used a gem that I could have... that sucks. That's what it was. And that was from Machine Gun Arm 4. I need a ruby. Ugh. That sucks. That sucks. Let's see here. Drill Arm... I think Drill Arm 3 is the one I currently have equipped. I'm not sure. Let me see. Yup. That's what I currently got equipped. And let's see here. Do you remember what the recipe was for Machine Gun Arm 3? Ah, fair enough. Alright then. It looks like the stream manager might be misbehaving. On to Mount Gondor, yes. Wait, I gotta check Steve's fuel levels. That's acceptable. And, how much reserve fuel do I have? Okay, I got a full stock. Good. So, yeah, Mount Gondor it is. It's not... Oh, wow, it's actually not showing the... Huh. Let's see here... There it is. But yeah, you missed it. This past Friday, I had to give a loud sound warning because I just knew this one minigame was about to make me scream. I was that pissed. Like, it's one thing for a mandatory... Like, it's one thing for a minigame to be overtly difficult, but when it's a mandatory minigame, to make it needlessly difficult, oh man, I genuinely hope that whoever came up with making that minigame that difficult gets a bad case of the shits to the point that they at least think they're about to die. And they're like, what did I do to deserve this? Oh, probably that. Like if they believe in a god, praying to them to not die. And offering all manner of good behavior to try to buy their life, you know? That's kind of the mental process I want them to go through. I was that irritated. Whatever it takes for them to rethink their life. Because, oh my god. Like, clearly they've got the creativity, but it's wasted just being a jerk. Anyway. So yeah, just be forewarned, when you get to Chaos Island in Sonic Frontiers, it is way more complicated than it should be. Without spoiling any specifics, the two mandatory minigames are needlessly difficult, and the actual layout of the map is so is needlessly hard to navigate. And that's the third island. After that, it's pretty much smooth sailing. They just decided to disproportionately and artificially pad out the runtime on that one island by making it that difficult. Like, if you are able to navigate it no problem, you'll probably blast through that island. But if, like me, you have trouble keeping track of the paths between each of the mini islands, then you're in for a lot of frustration. So, and yeah, speaking of frustration, like I said about those two mini games, be prepared to scream, because they make it way harder than it needs to be. Which, I mean, I get it, that pattern recognition and trial and error are a big part of Sonic series gameplay, but the extent that they put it to is just cruel. And it's just that one island. None of the others are nearly as difficult. Which honestly just makes it rather bewildering, quite frankly. Nope. Oh, hey Fur, how's it going? Yeah, I don't think you and Builder have been in stream at the same time, so... just a heads up, Builder, Fur has a filthy sense of humor. But, yeah. Oh, modding Morrowind, nice! Okay, that's another mimic. Ow! Crazy cat. She's trying to attack the microphone cord. Thinks it's a toy. Hey, no! Don't do that. Oh, and it looks like I've found... That's the one with the key. Fallout 4, nice. Oh, did I ever tell you about that one really messed up custom weapon that my little brother found years ago? Well, not found, but like he saw it online. Like, and it's only messed up because what it is and what they named it is just a really dark joke. It was a custom shotgun that they had the audacity to name Kurt Cobain's microphone. Yikes. It's a joke about Kurt Cobain committing suicide with a shotgun in his mouth. Yeah, harsh. Incidentally, a lot of folks, so a lot of folks pointed to Cobain's death as proof of the so-called 27 Club. Basically, legend has it that that is the age at which a celebrity, usually a performer of some sort, is that they're most likely to die an untimely death. Like, they're all, they all died at or below the age of 27, and besides Cobain, there are several other notable examples. So it's like, it really, it is an urban legend, quite frankly, but at the same time, it makes you think, what the hell? So, yeah, exactly. Exactly. Janis Joplin, Jimi Hendrix are also two good examples. Thank you, Fur. But yeah, like, and again, this was a custom shotgun that my little brother saw online from a Fallout game, either 3 or 4. And it's just, like, why? I mean, like, on the one hand, I get it, but at the same time, you really didn't have to. That really is one of those things that morally, ethically, they should have just left it be. Ah, the game is okay. Well, just a reminder, I am doing this using the built-in. So let's see here. Broadcast settings, advanced settings. No, that's not it. Nuts. I don't think it's going to let me change the microphone here. Wait, sharing broadcast settings. Yeah, no, it's not going to let me do that right now. Oh well. That said, here we go, adjust microphone level. Better? I've also got factor in the chat delay. Oh! Okay, yeah, auto mod, I didn't notice that earlier. I really do need to start keeping an eye on that. But yeah, there we go. There's your comment from earlier, Builder. But yeah, I totally agree. That is completely screwed up. Okay. Alright, well, if you need it cranked up any further, just let me know. But yeah, I spoke with my mom, and it's looking like I may be getting that gaming PC for my birthday in May. In which case, oh, I've got some ideas. No, sadly. I haven't played Morrowind since the Xbox era, so... Yeah, Builder, have you ever messed around in Morrowind? Like with mods and whatnot? What happened? What's wrong? What'd you do? Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's just, I didn't have the hardware to... Yeah, I didn't have the hardware to do it for a while. But, since I'm, once I get that PC, well... Pretty much all of the Elder Scrolls games are on Game Pass. So... Yeah, I get that effect. Oh, that reminds me, a couple of months back, I think, or maybe just a few weeks ago. I'm kind of losing track of time. You know, days start to bleed together. Anyway, but a conversation with my cousin came up. She, like, we were talking about the narrative differences between, you know, the Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, and Harry Potter. Just like how each of the three handle the different aspects of their stories differently. So, for example, Lord of the Rings deals a lot with its world building, like a whole lot. Like, it'll just go on and on about oh, this important thing happened regarding this character, and this place is important because it's connected to this. It's like all interconnected to the point that, well, shit. I need to know all of this to know what's going on? Okay. Which can easily turn a lot of people off. Meanwhile, Harry Potter deals more heavily in its character interactions more than anything. Just focusing on the characters, with the world just more being a backdrop with its own history. And then with Star Wars, oh boy, depends on which trilogy we're really talking about, quite frankly, because if it's the original trilogy, then it's about both the world building and the, you know, the characters and the you know, background lore. But then with the prequel trilogy, it starts to go a lot more heavily into some disturbingly familiar politics. And I recently saw a video essay that essentially pointed out the prequel trilogy asks and answers a question that a lot of other works are afraid to even remotely ask, and that's, how does a democracy, or how does the Republic become a dictatorship? A question that, oh, by the way, anyone that doesn't want some of the worst parts of modern history to happen again would do well to learn the answer to, so it doesn't happen again. Because, quite frankly, Palpatine manipulated all of the mechanisms of the Republic's democracy to turn it into the Empire. And you know, this video essay essentially points out, it basically concludes with, the Republic became the Empire long before it took up the name. Which, yeah, that's pretty grim to think about, honestly. But, oh, absolutely. Like, the degree to which he manipulated everyone. Holy crap. Sounds familiar. Like, I think I know which one Marcus Aurelius was. He was, you know, a major figure in Roman history. I believe he was one of the, was it the Triumvir? Or something? But please, for those of us that haven't or don't remember, please, refresh our memories, sir. Sorry, I need to hydrate. Yeah. Oh, hold that thought. I don't know if I mentioned it here on the channel, but speaking of Julius, boy, the establishment, not the establishment, but boy, oh boy, the assassination of Julius Caesar was just the ultimate group project when you really think about it. Because, as it turns out, only a handful of the wounds inflicted, like, only, like, 3 or 4 were individually fatal. And yet, there were so many conspirators that all stabbed him. So, a few of them did all the work, and everyone got the credit. Yeah, typical group project. Jeez, right? But yeah, the thing is that, for any representative democracy to have any kind of office that under any circumstances can give its occupant absolute power is itself a potential danger to that very same democracy. The entire point is that nobody is above the law, and that anybody can be held accountable. But when you have a position that, by its very nature, presents the possibility of absolute power, there's no accountability for that. There just isn't. Even if, hypothetically, they can be voted out, what's really to stop them? Yeah, exactly. Like, how do you stop someone with absolute power from abusing it? Like, how do you stop them from even trying? You can't. Because that's what absolute power is. So, it's one of those interesting, bits regarding politics that most people can't agree on. That we don't want someone that can do literally whatever they want without repercussions. Because how would you feel to be the person on the receiving end of that? How would you feel if someone took from you just because they felt like it? Which is exactly why Absolute Power was the perfect title for that one Clint Eastwood film. But yeah, I believe it was Lincoln, maybe not, that said something to the effect of, the true measure of a man is what he does with power. Again, I don't know if that was Lincoln or not, but it still holds true. When you actually think about it, the greatest people in history are often those that had the opportunity to do the wrong thing and had the power, but chose to use it to do the right thing. Like, one of the reasons why, like, so for example, George Washington, in the aftermath of the American Revolution, they wanted to make him their king. But he essentially said, we just fought a bloody war to remove a King George. Why would you appoint another? And then, when he served his term, he retired to his farm for the rest of his life. They offered him a crown, and he willingly declined. He willingly rejected it because he understood the temptation of that power, the allure, and how addictive it could be. Oh, exactly. Assassin's Creed 3, like, let's be honest, Assassin's Creed was at its absolute best during, like, those middle years. Like, when it's, so Black Flag, Rogue, and all of those. It honestly wasn't until Odyssey that it started to go downhill. Or was it Origins? Whichever one came first. Point is, when they started to really lean in on monetization and shoehorn in RPG mechanics. Whereas I think it was Syndicate that it felt semi-organic to have them there. Like, it actually made some sense. But honestly, we can save this whole discussion for probably the next time I stream Assassin's Creed. Because, quite frankly, I've decided to dedicate all of my Assassin's Creed streams to my little brother, who actually got me into the series years ago. So, but yeah, I am aware of the George Washington DLC that essentially, I think involving an Apple of Eden, it shows it actually shows a what-if scenario, sort of a simulation projected by an Apple of Eden. Again, I think it was an Apple of Eden. I haven't played that DLC yet, but that basically shows Connor and Washington an alternate version of the aftermath of the Revolution, with George Washington becoming the first king of America. And he's an absolute tyrant in this scenario. So in other words, it basically shows us a very tangible... it very tangibly shows us exactly why Washington rejected a crown. It actually takes the idea and shows it to our face. And that's honestly very brave. And that's exactly why early Assassin's Creed was so damn admirable. Because it dared to show us these, to show us the nitty-gritty. So. But anyway, back to Dark Cloud and, JRPGs, and especially Level 5. So. Oh, yeah, exactly. Oh, boy. Oh, yeah, and the thing about, one of the things that people have pointed out, one of the messed up things in Harry Potter, going back to the big differences between Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, and and Star Wars, is that, well, the Lord of the Rings and Star Wars are set in fictional, like wholesale fictional worlds. Although Lord of the Rings is vaguely inspired by Norse mythology as well. But the thing is that Harry Potter is set in a fictionalized version of our Earth, with a closely overlapping history, but with the whole, hidden world sort of element. What makes this messed up is when you realize the number of so-called Muggle conflicts that the Wizarding World could have intervened. Even covertly, they could have intervened. Although, to be fair, Rowling did kind of give herself an out with Grindelwald, basically saying, yeah, they were busy dealing with their own shit at that point in history. Which, I mean, yeah, fair. But then that also... Yeah... And not to mention, it's a lot harder to get, for new folks to get into it these days, because, well, the author's political beliefs. Exhibit A for why we should be able to separate the art from the artist. Problem is, the artist is still making money off of their art. We can separate the art from the artist with, say, Lovecraft, because Lovecraft is dead. And it's been so long that any heirs he would have had couldn't possibly be... Oh yeah, like, let's be honest, the whole Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard, it was just one massive mess. And it's exactly why I hate when a media company acts so hastily based on the court of public opinion. Like, it doesn't bother me that they fired him. It bothers me with how they went about firing him. They didn't conduct an investigation into the validity of her claims. They just fired him. And that's really messed up, because if someone does wrong, you should speak out. But at the same time, if their employers are too hasty, it creates a sort of a cultural question, valid or otherwise. It creates a fear of false allegations, and that's a very dangerous mindset, because then that causes them to question the allegations on a much more cynical level, and that's even worse. Like, you can't have people just doing whatever they want, but you also can't have people saying whatever they want. So, like, I'm still irritated with how, and once again, I might have to add this somewhere on the bingo card, with how Funimation and Rooster Teeth handled their firing of Vic Mignogna. Again, the fact that they did ultimately fire him over allegations that circulated for 10 years. Yeah, pretty much. That is pretty much the nature of it. But it's like allegations that had been circling around him for 10 years. It took them 10 years to fire him over investigations, or over allegations that with their resources, they could easily have completed an investigation within 2 years, and it took them 10. And in that time, new allegations came forth, like fresh allegations came forth of sexual misconduct by him against his co-workers. Meaning that any of those allegations, any of those later allegations that are true, any of those allegations against Mignogna that are true, and we'll... yeah, we could talk about Trump in a moment, but be careful not to get into the political side of it. We could talk about the legal side all we want, and about it being an image problem as well. Just, you know, be civil. But like I was saying, regarding Mignogna, any allegations of sexual misconduct against him by former co-workers, any of those allegations that turn out to be true, happened on the company's watch. In other words, by allowing him to do whatever he wanted to without consequence for 10 years, they let it happen. So, Jamie Marchi, Monica Rial, and whoever else, I believe that they need to look into possibly filing a class action lawsuit against corporate. Because whatever he did do, they let it happen. But regarding Trump, let's be honest, he's been abusing the mechanisms of our legal system for decades. And only now is the system starting to push back. Only now is it beginning to slap his hand and say, no, you don't get to use that anymore. Like, there's a concept that I recently came across. It's called a vexatious litigant. And what it basically means is that when someone abuses civil law to the point that they just file frivolous lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit for no other purpose than to just game the system, eventually a judge can say, no, you don't get to file suit over this specific matter any further. It doesn't stop them from filing a lawsuit over anything else, just on that one matter, in order to prevent any further abuse on that specific matter. Because, quite frankly, what if later on down the line they do have a legitimate grievance? If you tell them that they can't use the system at all anymore, well, on the one hand, you know, boy who cried wolf, but on the other hand, you also create a problem, you create a situation where an actual problem can't be solved. And that's a problem in its own right. And it's a problem that can affect more than just the litigant themselves. Hence why it ends up being specific to the specific charge of the lawsuit, not to their ability to file suit, period. Yeah. Awesome. So the thing is that with all of the legal issues now circling just those in Trump's orbit, it's just in regards to optics, it's really not a good look when they're getting in trouble left, right, and center. Uh-oh, this one's gonna get back up. There we go. In fact, okay, this is no guarantee, but Jared Kushner might even be on the hook for a specific handful of COVID deaths. It basically boils down to allegations, well, I'd say allegations, testimony given to the January 6th committee just before, you know, they started wrapping up and handing everything over to the DOJ and to the special counsel Jack Smith, which, oh, by the way, say what you will about his performance, that is an extremely generic sounding name. Jack Smith? Really? Just saying. That's actually kind of funny that his name sounds that generic. Oh shit, no, he's not dead. Oh, he is. Okay, good. There we go. Yeah. The way that it thudded, I thought that enemy might be about to get back up for another go. Second wind, you know? But anyway, like I was saying, one of the things that a former Trump aide said in their testimony was in regards to Jared Kushner and, okay, I'm gonna have to use this. And, COVID. Specifically, during a COVID briefing, the question came up, and bear in mind, and I know I'm kind of all over the place with this, but bear in mind, this briefing was after the 2020 election, as in, the Trump administration was, you know, in its final days, and someone posed the question that shouldn't they be keeping the then President-elect Biden's transition team in the loop in these COVID briefings? And Kushner straight up said something to the effect of, nah, fuck that. Like, he straight up just decided they were not going to do something that would have made the Biden administration's early handling of COVID much smoother. And this is key in determining whether or not he may be on the hooks. He may be on the hook for some COVID deaths, because it comes down to whether or not it qualifies as negligent manslaughter. And apparently, in DC law specifically, negligent manslaughter... Oh, just so we're clear, I'm not a lawyer. This is just information I got secondhand from a lawyer. So, but anyway, but yeah, under DC law, a person can be considered to have committed negligent manslaughter if they meet 3 criteria. Number 1, they either commit an act that is negligent in its nature, or refuse to take action in a negligent manner. In other words, it's like, you're not supposed to do that, or you should be doing that, and they just blow you off. Like, nah, fuck that. Second, oh, whoops, didn't mean to do that. So second, if in the moment that action or inaction could predictably result in the death or physical injury of another person. And third, if that action does result in the death or physical harm to another person. And someone refusing to communicate in a way that would have reduced the number of COVID deaths, or at least the number of preventable deaths. That's why some legal experts, not me, again, this is all secondhand, but some legal experts, you know, lawyers and the like, believe Kushner could be on the hook for negligent manslaughter because of that. So, you know, grain of salt, but yeah, it don't look good for him. So again, just another example of someone in Trump's orbit being in legal trouble. Never mind Trump himself. Like, I try to be absolutely diplomatic when I discuss politics, but so at the end of the day, I have to hone in more on the optics than on anything else. Like, everyone's entitled to their political opinion, just don't be a jackass about it. Simple as that. Anyway. But yeah, conversations with Will get a bit heavy. It's just, I'm one of those people, I see so much wrong with the world, but I also see so much potential, so I just try to do my part to help people realize that. This world is, like, it's got a lot that we can fix. And it's important that we try. So, yeah. But yeah, I think I've mentioned on stream some of the games that I probably won't be streaming, or at the very least I won't be getting at launch. One of them is Hogwarts Legacy, because, you know, ethics. As long as Rowling is making money off of it, if I'm getting it, I'm not getting it at launch. I am going to be spending as little as I possibly... I'm going to be spending as little as I can possibly manage. And even then, I'm going to be waiting a while to stream the damn thing. Because that controversy is not going away anytime soon. Oh yeah, exactly. It's absolutely horrible that those that have the ability to make a change often choose not to. It's like one of the political points where my uncle and I absolutely agree on is that they don't want us to get along. Like the ruling class does not want us to get along, because the moment we do, they're screwed. They keep us pitted against one another to distract us and keep us from basically holding them accountable. The reason they stay in office is because we don't vote them out. And the reason that we don't vote them out is because they play the they them card as, I mean, well, as Christopher Titus more eloquently puts it. I think it was his special Amerigeddon. Speaking of which, when y'all have time, most of Christopher Titus's comedy specials are on his own YouTube channel, free of charge. Yeah, boss time, sweet. Here we go. Really? Just another one of these guys? Yeah, okay. And I forget, I don't need to take a picture of this guy, right? Builder? Thank you. Yeah, I know there's a bit of a chat delay, so... Right. And because of my OCD... Never got into JRPGs? Yeah. OCD, I hate you so. Right. Koei, yeah.
Wow.
Oh, fun fact, Fur. But, you remember, the old Teen Titans TV series? The same guy that voiced Robin voices this kid. Yeah. Neat. It really is. Also, can I move that? Wait. Alright, now... Well, that's cool. It even has a special leave dungeon, Heimrata. And now... to head back to, well, first I'd head to Gundorada Workshop, but save first. No, I don't believe I have. Definitely something that's crossed my mind from time to time, but... not the mainline stuff, no. I have played, I have played some of the collaborative spin-offs. So, namely, like, the Hyrule Warriors, Zelda spin-offs. But not mainline Dynasty Warriors, no. Also, Builder. Any specific points I can expect to find the new chests? Because I remember that completing... Yeah, I was afraid of that. I'm kind of surprised there doesn't seem to be anything on the bridge. Odd. So it's just going to be at the gates themselves. No Total War. Honestly, a lot of the stuff that I'm more familiar with is going to be the usual names and maybe a few other more obscure titles. So nobody's ever really heard, well, not a whole lot of people anyway, have heard of Little Tail Bronx. Not a lot of folks remember Golden Sun. Stuff like that. Like ultra niche series. And the more obvious, more well-known series like Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts, Zelda, Pokemon, Mario, Sonic, all that good and popular stuff. Also, it's nothing short of a minor miracle that Sonic has remained relatively popular for so long. Long enough for us to keep giving Sega second and third and fourth and fifth and however many chances it's taken them to get to Frontiers and actually start getting it right. And yeah, they're on a good track. I like how Frontiers turned out. Again, my gripes about Chaos Island aside, that is the single least quality indicative part of the entire game. And spoiler alert, that's just the midpoint. The fact that the midpoint is the most infuriating part of the game is kind of bullshit, quite frankly. Because everything beyond that is actually pretty damn fun. Even the jank is the fun kind of jank. It's like, oh, I didn't mean to shoot off into the air. Oh, wait, but I can air dash over to this thing I couldn't reach earlier. Whee! So, there wasn't a Sonic game on the Super Nintendo. Sonic didn't come to Nintendo systems until Colors? Well, and Sonic Rush. But like console, so no, that goes further back than that. That's just the first point. It was that the console ones were exclusive. It first came on Sonic Adventure DX, which, oh, by the way, wasn't actually a director's cut because Takashi Iizuka didn't even work on it. But yeah. The first time a mainline Sonic game launched on Nintendo hardware was... the first time that a Sonic game launched on Nintendo hardware was on the GameCube with Sonic Heroes, which was a multi-platform release. And part of the problem with Heroes was that it was specifically designed for the weakest of the three main consoles at the time, the PS2. So no, the N64, its closest competitor at the time would have been the Sega Dreamcast. So it was N64 era, but not on the 64 itself, on its main competition. Well, I say main competition, but that would be the PlayStation, actually. Which, fun story, also kind of a tragic case of idiocy on all fronts. Both Nintendo and Sega had an opportunity to collaborate with Sony on what would ultimately become the PS1. See, Nintendo was wanting to make a... Yes, the Genesis. There you go. Yeah, which was actually where Sonic got his start. In fact, the entire reason why they even came up with Sonic in the first place is they needed to replace their mascot, Alex Kidd, with a character that could actually rival Mario in the market. And they came up with a lot of different designs. Honestly, I should probably be saving this for my next Sonic Frontiers stream, but hey, I guess I could just reiterate it then anyway. But yeah, basically, a whole lot went into the design. So not only, now, I don't remember who came up with which designs, but some of the designs proposed were, aw, that's sweet. Are you and her still together, or, oh, jeez. Yeah, I don't know if I mentioned, but my cousin and her fiance have been together 15 going on 16 years and are still together after 2 kids. And they're not even married. Yeah, my cousin and her fiance, so that's why I will say that while it's nice to be committed enough to sign what is functionally a contract, there is something special about love. There is nothing special about marriage. It is just you sealing it in ink and paper. And honestly, marriage for love is a relatively recent concept, or at the very least, its popularity is relatively recent. And I think you can guess who we can thank for its popularity. Good old William Shakespeare. Because before Romeo and Juliet, marriage was more of a political tool than anything else. Sad to say, but it's true. It was like, if 2 people did love one another, that was all well and good. But that was ultimately, at best, a secondary concern where marriage was concerned. So that's why some of the most... Oh, geez, yeah, no kidding. My mother has started binging Game of Thrones again. And like, it's not it doesn't bother me that she's watching again. I'm just like, good lord, you're obsessed. But yeah. Exactly. It was financial and political. It was 2 families that already had close ties to one another, either politically or financially, you know, like business partners and whatnot. And it was just to seal the deal. And of course, you know, political marriages between countries. Like, it's really freaking squicky when you realize, like a lot of royal marriages, that Queen Victoria and her husband, Prince Albert, were first cousins. I can already hear the banjos. Yeah, exactly. Like, it basically, and then there's the fact that a lot of countries, throughout a lot of history, to even get married, you had to have money. And that's a problem. Because you have this institution that society pressures you to engage with, no pun intended, and it's an institution that requires money, something not everyone's gonna have. And especially when you consider that statistically, the number one cause of a failed relationship, romantic relationship, is finance. And one of the greatest expenses a couple can deal with is the wedding. So, at the very start of your marriage, you are essentially kneecapping your chances of not getting divorced. Do you think the people that run the wedding industry give a shit? Fuck no! They're busy making a killing. They don't give a shit. Which all the more reason why I praise my cousin and her fiance for still being together, despite not being married, still being together after 2 kids and 15 years. And the thing is that their oldest is like 10. Their oldest is 10. Born 5 years into their relationship. And they are still together after that in the second one. That's special. That's dedication. Exactly. It's about compatibility and compromise. Which is, again, why I believe there is nothing special about marriage. But love, genuinely committed love, is special. When 2 people, or let's be honest, in this day and age, the idea is being more popular, more than 2, when they are committed to one another and trust one another and genuinely endeavor to work together toward their goals and towards keeping each other happy, that's special. My parents got divorced. In fact, my dad is going on his 3rd divorce. Both pairs of grandparents got divorced. My aunt on my mother's side has been divorced. My uncle, he got married, but it didn't count because, as it turns out, bigamy. His wife, quote unquote, was already married to someone, so it didn't count. And she didn't even tell him she was married to someone else. That's not okay. It's one thing if you bring someone into a relationship and they know that's what's going on, but when you keep them in the dark, that is not okay. But yeah, that should pretty much explain how my perception of marriage works. Because it's a perception that has very much been shaped by divorce. So, wait, let's sort them. But anyway. Yeah. Meanwhile, my ass is probably gonna, die alone because, well, I'm afraid of of turning out to be anywhere near as bad of a father or husband as my own father was. And that's not to say that my dad was physically abusive or anything. He wasn't. But damn it if at times when I was little he wasn't emotionally abusive. Which oftentimes can be just as bad. Like, when my parents got divorced, and this isn't me trash talking my old man, this is just my perspective. When my parents got divorced, and okay, hold on, cutscene. This is so cool. Whoa. So real quick, Fur, I don't know if you've ever played Dark Cloud 2, but in case you haven't, what they're trying to do right now is to create something called a chrono union. What that basically means is that it's taking something, it's basically creating a space where two time periods overlap, existing simultaneously in that same space, thereby allowing things to pass from one time period to another. And you saw that big castle-like thing that we were just at that big workshop? Watch.
What's happening?
Wait for it. Yes!
Look! It's Pasnos!
Alright, it worked!
The Resistance's main gun. Their killer app. Oh, jeez. Hardy har har.
So that was your... Of course.
Yeah, also, a little bit of background. That woman right there is that boy's mother, and she's from the future. Yeah.
He has blood from 2 different times running in his veins. It's given him special qualities.
A boy descended from 2 eras. He may just be able to save us. He could be the one. Now, let us strike back.
Yeah, long story short, his mom actually... So, long story short, his mom basically went back in time to protect his dad. Oh, yes, this, yes.
Ooh, what fun this is. Are you trying to stand up to my power with such a puny little fortress? Have it your way. Let the battle begin!
Also, I have some very big plans for when I hit affiliate. Ooh, deflection. Suck it.
These Pasnos attacks aren't doing anything. Prepare to fire the Nova Driver.
Sir, Nova Driver ready to fire.
Oh boy. This.
What's that? What are they gonna do? Looks like they plan on using Pasnos' strongest weapon, the Nova Driver Cannon.
Nova Driver Cannon?
Oh boy.
Yes, I've never seen it fired before either.
Can it damage that thing?
I sure hope so. We'll have to wait and see.
ready to fire, sir.
Nova Driver, ready. Aim. Fire!
I'll tell you more once this cutscene's over and gameplay resumes. Boom! Ah! Only grazed it. That sucks. Oh, they did still.
They did it!
Looks like a graze was enough to take it down.
This is very bad.
Oh no.
Huh?
Look! The palace is falling towards Palm Brinks.
Uh-oh.
The town will be crushed.
Uh-oh.
No way! What should we do, sir? There is a town at the estimated crash point of the palace.
Uh-oh. Oh no.
Blast it all! How do we stop it?
Oh no.
Initiate Colossus mode.
Yes!
What? Colossus mode? What are you talking about?
It's a new system on Cosmos.
You must be joking. Cosmos doesn't have anything like that.
Yes, it does. You just don't know about it.
What? But ever since Cosmos was in its planning stages,
History has changed. Since Max and Monica went back in time, things have changed slightly. They've created a whole new time stream.
Yes.
Time stream. So that explains it.
Put Cosmos in Colossus mode.
Entering Colossus mode.
Here we go.
Cool! What is it?
I have no idea. It looks like Pasnos is transforming.
Kick ass.
Pasnos turned into a robot!
That's awesome.
How did it do that?
We'll stop the palace with Cosmos. Dive!
Yes, sir.
That's awesome. What is a scoop? The transformed state? Oh yes.
How cool! It just threw the palace aside!
That's awesome.
The palace is on the ground. Let's try and get inside.
Okay!
And this is the point where I need to create a backup save. First. Well, damn. Okay. Move. Just go forward. There we go. Okay. Nice. Yeah, no shit. Really? They named it Gigantor Pasnos. Wow. Oh, fun fact, in the original Japanese sub of Gigantor, the weapon was created to fight the Allies. Yeah. Yikes, right? Yeah, so... Anyway. Yeah, let's get in the train. Oh, by the way, speaking of giant robots, one of my old buddies, one of my old college buddies once explained that the biggest difference between Neon Genesis Evangelion, you know, the original, and rebuild of Evangelion is like, well, basically the big phrases between the two. So, you know, original Eva is getting the damn robot, Shinji, and rebuild Eva is stay out of the damn robot, Shinji. An object under a cone may exist in two separate spaces and times at once. That means that Pasnos is here in this time, but it also exists in the future too. Yeah. Okay, so before I continue with the cutscene, but yeah, so Fur, just to bring you up to speed, so the boy right there is Maximilian. So as we've established, his mother Elena is from the future. She went back in time to watch over and protect his father, Gerald, who was in possession of a gemstone known as the Red Atlamelia. Meanwhile, in the future, that girl in the back, Monica Raybrandt, her father, the king, possessed the blue Atlamelia, which he passed on to her. In the background of all this, there is basically an evil emperor type going by Emperor Griffin that has been manipulating both of the game's major villains. A clown in Max's time named Flotsam, and a half demon essentially in Monica's timeline named, shit, it's been so long since I played, Gaspard. And basically the reason he's after the Atlamelia. Now it turns out the Red Atlamelia allows basically both Atlamelia allow their users to travel through time. So the Red Atlamelia allows them to travel, I believe, to the future, and the blue to the past. However, the reason why Emperor Griffin wants them is because he already possesses the yellow Atlamelia, and each of them represents a different celestial body. Red is the Earth, blue is the Moon, and yellow is the Sun. anyone that acquires all three gains potentially limitless power. And Emperor Griffin wants this power in order to, I forget what it's called, but to use some sort of super attack that wipes out everything. Like, he has gone full-on omnicidal maniac. Anyway. Hold on, I've got to fix the stream manager. There we go. Hopefully that'll help it. It gets a little funky at times. Let's reload. Hopefully that'll help. But anyway. But basically, by this point in the story, Emperor Griffin has stolen the red and blue Atlamelia from Max and Monica, and they're only able to time travel now due to this special time traveling train, the Ixion, which was created partly due to their intervention. And unlike the Atlamelia, which have a limit of travel limit of 100 years. In other words, you can only go forward or backward 100 years. Ixion can go back. What was it, Builder? Like 10,000? Jeez.
Max, Monica, listen carefully. Griffin's palace is back on the ground. This is our last chance to take him out. It's up to you to repair the history which Griffin has perverted. This is the final chapter. Okay, get going. Go and make a brighter future for all of us.
Yes, Mother.
Leave Griffin to us!
Now also, it's at this point, nearly an hour and a half in, I have to check and determine who I'm going to raid at the end of the stream. It's looking like my buddy Club Yuzu isn't on right now, but Easy Mode Start is, so he'll probably be the one. Anyway. I mean, you say, but with time travel, but then, you know, Osiris has a whole big thing with time travel, so... Oh, wait, are we talking Osiris as in the ancient Egyptian deity, or the Destiny 2 character, or the Destiny character that took his name from him? Kind of an important distinction. The ancient Egyptian god, or the character? Ah, okay, so the ancient Egyptian god, okay. Oh, fun fact, ancient Egypt was about as ancient to the ancient Romans as the ancient Romans are to us. Yeah, wow. Also, it seems Builder might have AFK'd.
I'll wait here. Make sure you get him. We will.
Oh, sorry. Did I misspeak? But yeah, like I was saying, ancient Egyptians were as ancient to ancient Rome as the ancient Romans were to us. Yeah, it's at this point that I have to. It's at this point that I have to quote my retired Marine mother and say, hear what I mean, not what I say. Okay, so that's all good. And at this point, I should probably... I gotta check something real quick. Alright. Ugh. Shoot. Didn't mean to press that. Anyway, here we go. Back here again.
Chapter 7.
There it is.
Palace of Flowers.
Yep. And so it begins.
Whoa! Huh?
I completely forgot about her.
Welcome to the Moonflower Palace. What? You have come to fight with Cyrus inside the Moonflower Palace, have you not? Cyrus?
Do you mean Griffin?
Please, don't blame Cyrus. I really hope you are able to see the child's true form. Who are you? I am the ruler of the palace, Alexandra. Cyrus has not yet realized what his role in life is. And neither have you two. Cyrus and I shared many memories in this garden. They are all still hidden here.
Oh.
If this garden could change back to the way it used to be, the child may remember everything again. Please, open up your hearts and see for yourselves the truth hidden here in the castle.
Oh boy.
There is a clue in the first room. Please, go and win back Cyrus's memories. If you do, I'm sure Cyrus will. I beg of you.
I wonder what she meant. A clue in the first room.
Anyway, let's keep going.
And sure as shit, we can use Carpentarian here.
He's not showing up this time.
I wonder. I got it! I got it!
What? What is it?
The woman just now, Alexandra.
Yeah, what about her?
She said there was a clue in the first room, right? Well, the first room is this hall. Look, Monica. This looks like the palace garden, but there's no flower bed like that out there. The pictures in this hall must show how the palace was long ago. So maybe what she meant was for us to return the palace garden back to what it used to be like in these pictures. I'm sure that's the way to uncover the secret about Griffin and this palace.
I bet you're right. It couldn't hurt to try. Uncovering Griffin's secrets, huh? Sounds good. Let's do it.
All right.
I wonder if that's a scoop. Nope. Huh. Nope. Nope, nothing special in here, so... Sorry, I gotta check something real quick. I'm back. Ow! My hip just popped. Jeez. That's not fun. Now to save again. Really stinks that Builder, I don't know if their internet cut out or something, but judging by the view count, yeah, they're just not here. Or he's just not here. Oh, I'm not going anywhere for at least a half hour, except maybe to walk the dogs. But yeah, ask away. What is good? Elaborate. Okay, that was just absurdly easy. The geostone's literally right in front of me. That's some bull. Define good? Well, shit. That's kind of a... Oh boy, that's actually a pretty big question. That's... That is a deceptively hard question to unpack. But, so, that depends. Just broadly or categorically? Because if we're talking what is morally good, well, that's probably the hardest one. we're talking just in terms of quality, you know? But yeah, like, good, if we're talking moral good, well, geez. Yeah, no, that's actually a very hard question. Again, deceptively so. Because then you get into the quandary of potential ideological differences. Now, so no two people are going to give you the exact same answer, but from my perspective, like, all you're really going to get is an opinion, and in my opinion, good is, as an action, like, as a course of action, good is whatever causes the least undue harm to others. What brings the greatest happiness to the most people. It's like, the fact is, in an ideal world, you wouldn't have to worry about quantity over quality, but we don't live in a perfect world, so it comes down to good is the most beneficial course of action in an imperfect world. What is good is defined as what hurts the fewest and helps the most. Again, assuming an imperfect world. So, like, let's be honest, humans as a species, we have a very low tolerance for boredom. So most of what ails us is born of a need for conflict. Okay, now that's a question that I think is a matter of circumstance. Because if we're talking scenarios, and say for example, a destitute father desperate to feed his family. Yes, good is very much circumstantial. So, for example, a destitute father trying to feed his starving family. Some will argue that stealing is bad, but letting your family starve to death is unquestionably worse for most of us. So, in that case, what is good is what will cause the least harm for the greatest number of people, or so if a father has to steal, stealing from someone that can afford to recoup the loss would be good, in that it would be the least harmful course of action. Stealing from someone who can't afford to recoup it, well, you're just putting someone in the same situation you yourself are in, and that doesn't help anyone. So, you know, your whole robbing Peter to pay Paul situation, essentially. So again, it comes down to the most ideal, the least harmful actions, assuming an imperfect world. If we lived in a world where nobody starved, well, that solves that, but like that nips that problem right in the bud. But in an imperfect world, there will be people starving. There will be people desperate enough to steal to feed themselves and to feed the people they care about. That's just the reality that many people live. Like, as far back as 2018, the statistic was like 1 in every 30-something children being homeless. That was circa 2018 that statistic is from. And yeah, that's heart-wrenching to think about that as many as 1 in 30-something children live so far below the poverty line that they are straight up homeless. That's horrifying. So then you have situations where some could argue that there is no victim. And again, that is subjective. So for example, digital media piracy. So legally, it's wrong, and for good reason. It's illegal because the people that make works of art, in the broadest sense of the word, art, need to be compensated for it. But on the flip side, what happens when a work of art is that is made to be distributed to the masses rather than just to a select few individuals is no longer available legally? So for example, you got a lot of movies that go, like movies, books, TV shows, video games that go out of print, so to speak. They are no longer commercially available. The people that made them are no longer providing them in a means that allows them to be compensated. What then? Your so-called orphan works? Many forms of media do have certain legal caveats depending on jurisdiction in order to essentially make it less to make it less quote-unquote necessary for someone to, well, not less quote-unquote necessary, but just less illegal to pirate certain media, simply by virtue of its creator no longer actively pursuing compensation. But not all forms of media have this caveat. Software, for example, like video games, you can't buy a brand new copy of, say, Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3. Like, you can't buy it at market value anymore, or rather at retail price anymore, because they don't print the game anymore. It is no longer commercially available on a first-hand market. You can't buy it at your like Walmart or Best Buy or Target. You can only buy them from second-hand places like GameStop and flea markets and such. And the copyright owners, the people that would make money off of further print, have shown absolutely zero interest in over a decade since it went out of print. So, whether or not it's right, hypothetically, to pirate that specific game is a lot murkier. Like, legally, it's still wrong. Morally, oh, hey Mode, or Easy, how you doing? I'm not sure where Builder went, but hopefully he'll be back fairly soon. But you just missed a good philosophical dialogue. Because Philosopher's here, and he asked a deceptively complicated question. What is good? As in, define the word good. And yes, Fur, that's exactly what I'm saying. It has a lot of caveats, and And it really does depend on what we're evaluating as good or not good. You know, whether it be evil or any other form of wrong. And, yeah, easy. Like I was saying to Philosopher, a good example of this would be, it would be a destitute father, homeless, with starving children, and the possibility of having to steal to feed them. And so, by that metric, and so then by that logic, would it stand to reason that good doesn't really exist? Not necessarily. Because if we assume that good doesn't really exist, then we assume evil doesn't really exist. And that in itself is a very dangerous mindset. And again, my personal perspective is that any mindset that can be harmful is itself bad. It is not good because it presents the possibility of a great deal of harm to a great number of people. In a world where we have no concept of good or evil, just doing what you feel like, that's pure anarchy. And again, this is all assuming an imperfect world. In a perfect world, the question's a moot point, quite frankly. Because in a perfect world, our every need, our every desire would be in some way provided for. Every person would have the means and the ability to pursue whatever they want. But human nature being what it is, we can't live in a perfect world simply because we feel compelled to take what we want. The various laws that we have in place are to facilitate means of taking and receiving things in a relatively orderly fashion. Exactly. So my point is that, so again, this is all assuming an imperfect world, but if like I was telling for Easy, if a father has to choose between stealing to feed his family and not stealing and letting his family starve, most people can appreciate that a father letting his own children starve is a bad thing. It is wrong, and therefore not good. So by that metric, the closest thing to good in that situation is to steal food with the understanding that he is depriving someone else of it. And thus, if possible, only stealing it from someone that can afford the loss. Because to steal it from someone who can't afford the loss is to put another in his and his children's same situation, which most can agree is not good. It is bad and it is wrong, because you're inflicting suffering upon another. And then you get your damned if you do. Oh, hey, Mossy. Yeah. Okay, another recap. Earlier, Philosopher decided to get philosophical, you know, just suppressing his gremlin energy for just a moment and actually asking a deceptively complicated moral question, ethical question, philosophical question, philosophical. Oh, hey, Builder. Okay. Hopefully this is the last time I'll have to do this recap. But just after you left, Philosopher asked a philosophical question. Hopefully the last time I have to make that corny joke. Asking to define good. As in to define what is good. Okay, where's the... Oh. That's the key, okay. And, basically, that's a question that there is not going to be any singular answer. It really does come down to a matter of perspective. So, the best way to determine, in that case, what is personally right, in my opinion, is very situational. So, for example, I started with the example of a homeless father and his starving children. Under most circumstances, we can accept that stealing is wrong. It is bad and therefore not good. But a father with starving children and unable to afford to pay for food is put in a situation where he has to choose between letting his children starve. Okay, fire, gem altar, streetlight, and the sun. Having to choose between letting his children starve and stealing food. Neither of which is ideal, but choosing one from the other, choosing between one and the other, it's generally a simple matter of determining which one is less wrong. Oh, fire
no good, huh?
Oh, fire gem altar. Whoops. Damn. The sun, street light. Oh yeah. Nova Cannon 2,
yeah,
sweet. Alright, now let's see here. What does it take to build that? But... oh, yeah, I can do that. Just need to... wait a second. No. Okay, yeah, I can do that, okay. And so what I need is... okay, I need 50 holy elements and 3 fire elements. Head back to the train. Ah, shit. Okay, runaway dragon, weapon, work crane. Oop, wrong. But like I was saying, when determining right from wrong in a situation like that, runaway dragon. There we go. What is ultimately right in that situation is whatever causes the least harm. Just a simple weapon, okay. So, in this case, that would be stealing from someone who can afford the loss.
Yeah, it works!
So that you don't put them in the same situation, so that the father doesn't put them in the same situation he and his children are in, as opposed to just stealing from whoever or letting their children starve. In other words, taking a more nuanced approach, a more nuanced option that is less wrong than the other choices. Okay, so I need 5 silver... okay, I need 5 silver balls, 3 fire elements, and 50 holy elements. Oh. Okay, so this one's a little... okay, so for those in the VOD, for those watching the VOD in, the future, this next... okay, so Philosopher's Comment's bit too long to show up in the feed, so I'll just read it out loud. Devil's advocate here. Well then, if the homeless father and starving children cause such a situation, would it not actually be better to simply remove them from the equation? Well, again, this is just one example, quite frankly. Okay, so let's see. Candle, firehouse. Okay, I'm gonna wait until I'm in front of what's his name. Yeah. So, okay, Conda, that's his name. I keep forgetting. Okay, so make candle, firehouse, relaxation fountain. Uh-oh. Okay, where's the relaxation fountain builder? Ah. But yeah, so you're saying remove them from the equation. So in other words, a different scenario. Because the scenario is predicated entirely around the father and his starving children. Okay, yeah, so... Well, geez. I'd rather buy them all in one go, so... But unable to decode? Well, that's complicated. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, this one... I'm not even sure. Oh, I think it goes right about here. Remove them from the macro. Well, again, the whole thing, like I said, the entire scenario is predicated on them. So without them, you don't have the scenario. And I don't need to... Okay, right there we go. Okay, so relaxation fountain. Scroll. Okay, candle and firehouse. Oh,
yeah, it works.
Fucking finally! Yes! Please don't use a gemstone. Please don't need a gemstone. Please don't need a gemstone. Yes! Finally! The best lower part. Awesome! I wonder how good the turning and acceleration and deceleration are on this thing. Let's see, I need to buy some sticky clay first. Oh, up there. Actually, okay, let's see here. Okay, so I need 9... So I need... Okay, that's a problem. Okay, I'm just gonna buy the sticky clay first. Need 9 of them. Okay. I need 30 for one and 12 for the other, so start there. And another 12. There we go. Oop. Shit. I need 5 silver balls. $50 holy elements and 3 fire elements. Yeah, because basically... yes, as little pain as possible, especially when you consider, or rather, reducing as much pain as possible, causing as little pain as possible in the process. So, the fact is, a lot of the time, helping someone could hurt another. So, like again, the father and his children is the perfect example for this, because someone is, if the father can't afford food to feed his starving children, he has to steal. He has to either steal or find a way to make food from scratch, just scrounging. Ah, shit. And another example that I had given, guys, earlier was in regards to just kill deer with rock. I mean, fair, but what if they live somewhere where there aren't any wild animals? Like in the inner city. What, you expect them to just eat sewer rats? With the number of... oh, then move. They've got no money. How do they move? How do they relocate when they've got no money? On foot? His children are starving. They're not gonna get very far. Fish from the river. Yeah, well then. You see how it's not how it's only simple in a few scenarios. And that's why I say it's complicated and situational. Essentially, what causes the least harm in the least ideal circumstances. I need 4 more fire element. But first... God, this is a pain. Well, first I need to get rid of that one armband. Let's see what happens if I... Nope. No, just sell that, actually. Speaking of which... Samurai arm. Okay, so regular samurai arm. Let's sell them to Kanda. First off, buy more fire element. And what do you think about good? And please don't give me some cynical bullshit of it's for the weak. It's mislabeled. Exactly. It's when it's that easy to complicate, clearly the word does not fit in that context. Exactly. Well, that depends on your definition of destructive, really. Gotta love that chat delay, eh, Builder? Suggesting that I do something just as I'm about to do it. Or rather, it popping in chat just after I start doing it. That damn delay. Okay, that should work. That should do it. Now... there we go. Need to buy more of that. Oh, story update for one of your fics? Which one? Let's see here. Ah! Right, there's the Nova Cannon. Oh, that's so beautiful. Okay, now I gotta go to make and the upgraded Nova Cannon. Now to sell the Mark 1. Ah. Well, I will say this much. On the one hand, it is your fic. Do with it as you please. On the other hand, tread carefully. You are saying that a very popular ship does not work in it. So, yeah, that's fair. And honestly, that was kind of the impression that Rooster Teeth was giving us at that point in its writing, because they still hadn't committed to whether or not they were actually going to make Bumblebee a thing. There we go. Okay, yeah, good. There we go. So, I guess that's all I'm going with for now. Wait. Oh yeah, that hits harder. But... Oh yeah, that's... oh, damn. That's beautiful. Right, like, that exact point in the story that's a lot more feasible. So again, gotta save here. Ah, so I suppose that means you'll be able to directly reference the events of the game then. Cool, cool. Oh, by the way, Mathi, get this. Well, actually, all of you, get this. The first room in the dungeon, I shit you not. Literally, as I'm spawning into that first room, the geostone is right there in front of me. Like, literally, the first thing in front of me. I shit you not. And save often because OCD is a bitch. Also, Fur, I think you were the one that talked me into bumping up my microphone. Part of why I keep my mic so low is because, but yeah, Builder, your decision does make sense, given its placement in the timeline. But, Fur, the reason why I generally keep my microphone as low as it is because, well, my mother is usually watching a movie or TV in the other room, and I don't want to risk the copyrighted music or dialogue from that fucking with the VOD. Like, I don't want that to end up getting it claimed. That's why I keep the mic so low. Also, if anybody goes back and watches the my most recent Let's Play of Sonic Frontiers, yeah, the loud sound warning I gave was absolutely necessary because I did end up screaming toward the end. I hate that island. Like, most of the game is very well done, you know, given, you know, like, for a 3D Sonic game anyway. But that one map is frustrating as hell. Between the mandatory minigames being needlessly difficult to the point that they are just blatantly padding out the runtime, as well as the map being really damn difficult to navigate. Again, blatantly and intentionally padding out the runtime. And it's all the more obvious when you realize that Chaos Island is not only the third area in the game, but at the exact midpoint in the game. They are intentionally drawing out the most central portion of the playthrough. So while the entire rest of the game is mostly fun, that they do that is kind of cruel. I mean, it's the most impersonal kind of cruelty, honestly. They just want to keep you in there for as long as they can. But it's still... it's not okay. So if this were a formal... if I were to do a formal review, I would absolutely be taking points off for Chaos Island. Because it alone, even if I would otherwise give the game a 10, Chaos Island alone is enough to drop it to a 9. Even if the entire rest of the game was absolutely perfect, my frustration was that bad. So. Excuse me for a moment. There we go. I hope the mic didn't pick up that last bit. Like a sitting duck. Yep. Just like shooting fish in a barrel. I love it. Yep, the card enemies. Oh hey, double shot. Love those. I should probably start getting some more of a boost for Monica's weapons. Otherwise I'm gonna be pretty hosed. Fun fact, each of the various suits in a deck of playing cards, besides being based off of certain minor arcana in a tarot deck, they're also based on a sort of caste system. Oh, hold on. Really? Really, Automod? Blocking the word monster? Are you fucking shitting me? Oh. I'm really sorry about that, builder. Oh. Oh, you monster. Or, your monster. Oh, I see what... Oh, I see why it blocked that. I thought you were using it as a euphemism. Which just goes to show Automod has the dirtiest mind out of all of us. Admit it, that's actually pretty hilarious. Anyway. So, where was I? Oh, right. The playing cards. But yeah, so, the diamonds represent the merchant class. I think, yeah, so diamonds represent the merchant class. I forget what clubs were, but I think spades are supposed to be, oh, wrong, crap. Honestly, I forget what the rest of them represent. It's been far too long since I came upon that little factoid, so sorry. Oh, if you're not interested in tarot, then you might have a little difficulty when I start playing Persona, because it's very heavy on its tarot motifs. But honestly, tarot as playing cards absolutely predates tarot as a divination tool. So, like, in fact, if you actually know which tarot card corresponds to which, you know, modern playing card, you can actually play a game of cards with a tarot deck. It's actually pretty hilarious. Honestly, like, knowing you, I'm not sure whether you're joking or not. Cat? No. Oh. Honestly, what to me, what makes it interesting is more of the philosophical side of it. So, but anyway, yeah, we'll change the subject. Never a good idea to force the chest open, because kaboom. Lamb's sword, huh? Well then. Builder, how good is that compared to, give me a second here. How good would you say the Lamb's sword is compared to Serpent Slicer? Yeah, there are some people in the world that do feel that strongly, and like, honestly, if we start having an argument about that, it's gonna get ugly. So and to be fair, you know, he's not without reason to believe it, so yes, changing the subject. Anyway, so the sword is the one that I just got, the Lamb sword. No. Really? Changes via the time of day, huh? Well then. That's neat. Also, that clock hand is probably the secondary key. Oh! Please be Ride Pod fuel. Nothing. Damn. Woo. Ah. Speaking of which. So in a few seconds. Yep, okay, item. Oh. Okay, I need to do that. Honestly. Here we go. Booyah! Oh, that's pretty. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. There we go. Alright, switch to Max. And then Monica. Booyah. Oops. Oh, that sucks. Oh, that's right. Okay, let's check the sword now. Ah, yep, there it is. It looks thirsty for blood. It seems to have grown in power. Okay, what? It says, okay, so philosophers cut off. It says, listen, strange women lying in ponds distributing swords is no basis for a system of government. Supreme executive power derives from a mandate from the masses, not from some farcical aquatic ceremony. Yeah, a werewolf sword. In other words, it's a wolf in sheep's clothing. Or should I say, a werewolf in sheep's clothing. You can't expect to wield supreme executive power just because some watery tart threw a sword at you. What are you on about? Oh, hold on. Let me fix that. Yeah, and please be sure to mention automod if they block it. Let's see. Oh, that word. Alright. You misspelled scimitar, by the way. Oh, I get it. So just one drawn-out Monty Python reference. Okay. I gotcha. Jeez. Oh, jeez. Freaking Monty Python. Just beautiful. Also, let's see, which one is this? Okay, so after this one, it's going to be time to save and raid, alright, everybody? Let's do this. Just a flesh wound. 'Tis but a flesh wound. And he's missing, like, he's missing an entire, like, he's missing half a leg below the knee. Jeez. Or the killer rabbit. Oh, that was fun. Nice save, pal. Oh, there's the geostone. Sweet. Yoink. Oh, cool. Secondary key. Nice. Nope. Mimic. Oh boy. Oh? Ah. Shit. Oh, jeez. Oh, that's horseshit. Game of Thrones, when a character is speaking. Ah. Oh, great. Ah, shit. 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 There we go. Let's make this simple. So I'm not fumbling with it. Oh, cool. Oh, come on. I mean, if they're so sacred, maybe don't use them so casually. Oh boy. Oh no. Oh, okay. So, let me stop you right there, Builder. Are you doing it as a comedy? There's the big question. Because that exact combination, I'm sorry, but if you're trying to tell a serious story, you're gonna need to be careful. If you're trying to tell a more balanced story, but if you're trying to tell it as a comedy, oh, there's a whole lot of potential. If you don't let it get too dark, like radiation poisoning, yeesh, holy crap. Also, you know, giant mutant roaches. I mean, yes, they've literally fought worse, but at the same time, holy shit, giant mutant roaches. And I mean, it's all fun and games until we all realize that the roach can fly. Yeah. A lot of people forget the cockroaches can fly. Sweet dreams. That is a lot of chests. Holy crap. Of course, they're all mimics. The herring, wow. I've really got to get around to watching some more Monty Python. That is just gold. Just so fun. Let's see here. Oh, wait. Did he spawn? What? Yeah, jeez, whatever. Oh, well. Wow. I don't need paint. Oh boy. Anyway. But at this point, I have to save. And it is time to raid. Let's see who all is on at the moment. And it looks like Low Can't Fail is playing Guild Wars 2. So... let's see here. So, yeah, I've updated my schedule, so it will be Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. Next Wednesday, I think I'm going to get back to playing Spider-Man, since I've hit a temporary snag with both Cyberpunk and Skyrim. So, but until then, this is Wilhelm Starten, signing off and raiding. Please hold.